You know what's really funny? People spend their entire lives begging, pleading for someone else to see their worth. They run around like mice in a cage, spinning their wheels, breaking themselves apart for what? Recognition? Validation? It's pathetic, but not you. Not anymore. That's why you're here, isn't it? Sitting there with those eyes, hollow yet still burning with questions. And lucky for you, I've got the answers. But not the fluffy ones everyone else feeds you. No, I'm here to tell you the dark truth. The bitter truth no one dares speak aloud. You think they'll respect you if you scream loud enough, bleed enough, prove enough? Ha! Let me tell you something. This world doesn't care. They don't care about your story, your pain, or your struggles. The only thing that gets people to truly listen is power. And power doesn't come from begging. It doesn't come from being nice or fair or honest. It comes from action. Actions don't lie. Words are cheap. Everyone can talk, but not everyone has guts. You want them to shut up. You want them to watch. Prove yourself. No, scratch that. You don't need to prove a damn thing. Let your actions scream louder than their whispers. Let's talk about them now. You know who I mean. The ones who doubted you. The ones who laughed behind your back, pretending to be nice while they sharpen knives for your spine. People are predictable. They care only about what they can take. When they can't take any more, when they can't control you, they fear you. And fear, my friend, is the sweetest currency in this game. You don't get fear by proving. You get it by taking. Want respect? Take it. Want silence? Enforce it. Make them choke on their words. Regret every smug grin, every dismissive glance. You don't ask for it. You make them feel it every day. I know, it sounds harsh. But life is harsh, isn't it? They didn't care when you were down. They didn't care when you cried yourself to sleep, when you screamed into the void, begging for someone to notice. But now, you're standing on the edge. You've got two choices: jump or make them wish they'd never pushed you this far. They'll say you're crazy, that you're out of control. Let them. Crazy is just a label they slap on people they don't understand. You've got fire inside you, a fire they'll never have. So use it. Don't waste it proving anything to people who wouldn't even spit on you if you were burning. You walk into a room and you let your silence do the talking. You let your grind, your presence, your sheer will make them uncomfortable. You don't need their approval. Their opinions, worth less than the dirt under your boots. Remember this: the louder they talk, the more insecure they are. Their words don't define you. Your actions do. You're probably thinking, what if I fail? What if they laugh again? Let them. Failure isn't the end. It's a weapon. Every time you fall, you sharpen it. Every time they laugh, you collect it. And when the time comes, you'll wield that weapon like a hammer and smash them all. You see, they've already decided who you are in their minds. You're weak, you're nothing. So stop playing their game. Stop trying to change their minds. Focus on yours. Build something they can't ignore. Let them choke on their ignorance while you rise. Higher, faster, stronger. You don't need to prove yourself. You need to show them. Show them what happens when they push the wrong person too far. Show them what happens when silence turns into action. When quiet fury becomes an unstoppable force. And when the dust settles, when they're left scrambling, trying to understand how you did it, how you beat them without even trying, that's when you'll know you've won. So, what's it going to be? Are you going to keep running, begging, proving, or are you going to make them regret doubting you in the first place? Remember, you don't need their approval, you need results. And results? They don't just speak louder, they scream. You think I'm done? Oh no, no. See, The thing about the truth is, it takes time to sink in. It's not like a slap to the face. No, it's more like a slow poison. You feel it creeping under your skin, eating away at every lie you've been telling yourself. And oh, you've been lying to yourself, haven't you? You've told yourself you're not good enough, that you need to be better, smarter, faster, that if you just try one more time, they'll finally see you. They'll finally respect you. Ha! Respect? You can't ask for respect. You can't earn it by being a good little boy who plays by their rules. No, respect is taken. It's ripped from their hands while they scream and beg to keep it. You think the world respects the nice guys, the ones who follow the rules? Let me let you in on a little secret. It doesn't. The world chews them up and spits them out like yesterday's garbage. No one remembers the obedient ones. They remember the rule breakers, the ones who kicked the door down when it wouldn't open. But wait, you don't want to be like that, right? You don't want to be one of them. Ha! You're lying to yourself again. Deep down, you want it. You crave it. That power, that control. You want to walk into a room and feel every eye on you. Not because they like you, but because they fear you. Because they know that in a world full of sheep, you're the wolf. But you've been hiding that wolf, haven't you? Trying to fit in with the herd. And where's that gotten you? Right here, sitting in the dark, wondering why you're still invisible. I'll tell you why. Sheep don't notice wolves unless they show their teeth. You've got teeth. You've got claws. You've got that fire, that hunger, that anger, especially the anger. I can see it in your eyes. It's been there for a long time, hasn't it? Burning, waiting, begging to be let out. But you've been afraid of it. Afraid of what it might do. Let me tell you something about fear. Fear is a leash. It's the thing they use to keep you in line. You've spent your whole life feeding it, tightening it, making sure you never pull too hard, and you've let them. But what happens when a dog bites back? What happens when it snaps the leash and bares its teeth? They run. They scatter. Like cockroaches when the light comes on. Because deep down, they're cowards. All of them. The ones who doubted you. The ones who laughed at you. The ones who pushed you down. They're weak. That's why they need you to stay down. To stay quiet. Because if you rise, if you fight, you'll show them how small they really are. But you're not going to fight for them, are you? Number, you're going to fight for you. For every time they told you you weren't enough. For every time they looked past you like you didn't exist. For every time they used you, stepped on you, discarded you like trash. You're going to fight because you deserve more than this. More than their scraps. And you're not going to do it by begging, by explaining, by bending over backwards for people who wouldn't even cross the street for you. You're going to do it by acting, by showing them that the person they doubted, the person they underestimated, is the one they should have feared all along. You're not here to play their game. You're here to change the rules, to tear down their little house of cards and build something so strong, so unshakable, they'll never forget you. And you don't do that with words. You do it with results. But here's the thing about results. They don't come easy. You're going to have to bleed for them, sweat for them, burn for them. You'll lose parts of yourself along the way, parts you thought you couldn't live without. And that's going to hurt. Oh, it's going to hurt more than anything you've ever felt. But pain, my friend, pain is the greatest teacher. It strips away the lies, the illusions, the weaknesses. It shows you who you really are, what you're really made of. And if you can survive it, if you can take it and turn it into fuel, there's nothing you can't do. Because when the dust settles, when the lights go out, and it's just you and your reflection staring back at you, the only question that matters is, did you do it for them or did you do it for you? Most people, they do it for them. for the applause, the likes, the fake smiles, and pats on the back. But you're different. I can see it in your eyes. You don't want their applause. You want their silence. You don't want their acceptance. You want their regret. And regret, it's a beautiful thing. It's the one emotion they can't fake, can't control. When you make someone regret doubting you, betraying you, overlooking you, it's like carving your name into their soul. Permanent, unforgettable. And trust me, nothing feels sweeter than that. But regret doesn't come cheap, does it? No, it costs time, effort, blood, patience. Because here's the kicker. You don't get regret by screaming, by lashing out, by breaking things. You get it by building, slowly, methodically, brick by brick. Until one day, they look up and realize the person they dismissed, the person they laughed at, is standing on top of a mountain they can't even see the base of. You don't climb that mountain by being loud. You don't climb it by trying to prove you belong there. You climb it by putting one foot in front of the other, no matter how much it hurts, no matter how many times you slip. And when you finally reach the top, you don't shout your victory to the world. You just stand there, silent, unshakable, and let them choke on the fact that they can't reach you anymore. Oh, they'll try. They'll try so hard. Suddenly, they'll want to be your friend. Suddenly, they'll want to understand you, support you. Ha! It's all lies. Lies wrapped in pretty little bows to hide the jealousy underneath. They don't want to support you. They want to use you to bring you back down to their level where they can control you again. Don't let them. Don't you dare let them. You've sacrificed too much to let them drag you back into their pit of mediocrity. You've earned the right to stand alone, to walk your own path without their chains pulling you back. And when they call you cold, when they call you cruel for not looking back, for not reaching out a hand, you just smile. Smile because you know the truth. You didn't leave them behind. They chose to stay behind. But let's not forget the most important part, the work. Oh yes, the work. It's not glamorous, it's not fun, it's gritty, it's brutal. It's waking up every day and grinding, even when you don't want to, even when it feels pointless. Because that's the difference between them and you. They quit when it gets hard. You don't. You keep going. Not because you're trying to prove something, but because you know that every drop of sweat, every hour of pain is another brick in that mountain. And when they finally look up and see what you've built, it won't be your words that silence them. It'll be the sheer weight of your actions. They'll hate you for it. You know they will. They'll hate you because you remind them of everything they could have been, but were too weak to become. And that's fine. Let them hate. Their hate is just proof that you're doing something they can't. You don't need to prove yourself, not to them, not to anyone. Your actions will speak louder than their doubts, louder than their laughter, louder than their lies. And when they finally stop talking, when their voices are drowned out by the sound of your success, you'll realize something beautiful. You never needed them. You never needed their approval, their validation, their permission. All you needed was the strength to keep going, to keep building, to keep climbing. And now you have it. Don't waste another second on them. Let your actions do the talking. Let your silence be deafening. And when they finally realize what they lost, what they missed, you won't even have to say, "I told you so." Their regret will say it for you. So go. Stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for validation. Take what's yours. Build what they said you couldn't. And when they finally look up and see you standing there, untouchable, unstoppable, you'll know you've won. And the best part? You won't even need to say a word. Let me tell you something about fear. Fear is a leash. It's the thing they use to keep you in line. You've spent your whole life feeding it, tightening it, making sure you never pull too hard, and you've let them. But what happens when a dog bites back? What happens when it snaps the leash and bares its teeth? They run. They scatter, like cockroaches when the light comes on. Because deep down, they're cowards. All of them. The ones who doubted you. The ones who laughed at you. The ones who pushed you down. They're weak. That's why they need you to stay down, to stay quiet. Because if you rise, if you fight, you'll show them how small they really are. But you're not going to fight for them, are you? Number, you're going to fight for you. For every time they told you you weren't enough. For every time they looked past you like you didn't exist. For every time they used you, stepped on you, discarded you like trash. You're going to fight because you deserve more than this.